happening down there?
No, Charleston is happening.
The street hadn't even changed since the 1700s. Straight ahead of us, built in 1767 by the British, is the City Exchange Building. It's a museum today. It's had a lot of uses, the post office, the customs house, but the basement level of that building is the old city dungeon. We had a very famous pirate housed there. His name was Stede Bonnet. Stede Bonnet was the gentleman pirate of Charleston. No one could understand why this boy had become a pirate, because he came from a good family, lots of money, so obviously he didn't need the money for piracy. Well, he was imprisoned down in the dungeon and brought to trial. This man went down in history as a man who blamed his acts of piracy on a nagging wife. A cranky woman drove him to his life of crime. Charleston ladies saw to it that not only was he hanged, 6 days to...
Go back home. Go home. Cider, get him away from me.
Come on, kitty.
Come on, bud. Go back to your house. Mr. Siamese cat, go back. Chase him back. Come on, let's go back. Go ahead, follow her.
I don't really talk about the buildings because you can find old stores all around the country, but the rainbow colors are something kind of neat. We didn't start the tradition of painting our houses these colors. The Carib Indians did, Carib and Arawak Indians. See, when ships came over here from England, originally the first landfall they made was down in the Caribbean because that's where the southern trade winds blew them. And the Carib and Arawak Indians painted their houses these colors. We thought they were kind of neat, so we borrowed the tradition.
That's what we aspire to one day. Having a braided rope surround our doorway.
So we're coming up to some more single houses. The oldest grouping of single houses in the city, we call them the Three Sisters houses, similar in architecture. The reason we built narrow houses to begin with was because of taxation by the British. The British used to figure out our property tax just by the amount of frontage space the house took up on the street. Okay, so if you had a small amount of space on the street, it's a small tax. So under this law, theoretically, you could build a house 1 room wide and 10 miles deep, but your property tax would still be based on a tiny room on the street. It's tax evasion. By a slight disagreement between a honeymoon couple. They were trying to build their house and they could not agree on one single style of architecture. The wife wanted her house to be built Greek revival style because she wanted Italian villas. They compromised with the difference in columns. Bottom floor is Italian, top is revival. These little flags in the street. So there's one already there, and do be careful of these because they're not obviously sitting in puddles of water. People have a habit of picking these up and taking them. They're like, oh, neat souvenir, and put it in their pocket. Where do you think it's been? All right, Boo. Come on. Look down the side of this building. See how it's warped? All these buildings are leaning.
Oh, yeah.
And see all the cracking? It looks like cracks in stones and ceilings, and then from either side inserted these 2 rods with the washers on the outside. Connected 2 rods in the center with a turnbuckle. Tighten the turnbuckle down, supposedly it stabilizes the house. Now, that earthquake in 1886, there was no Richter scale, but they guess it would have been at least 8 to 8.2 on the Richter scale. Do you think if we had another earthquake of that magnitude, those little rods would help any?
What you looking at?
Gun salvaged from the USS Keokuk, which was sank
went and attacked Fort Sumter in 1863, and it was salvaged from there. What do they say, an 11-inch gun.
Something you could aspire to.
Storm surge that comes up over the wall. Like Hugo, we had 23-foot tidal surge, and most of these houses here had 10 feet of water, standing water inside them. That's Fort Sumter, straight out in the center of the harbor. We're talking about that a little bit further. Yeah, well, actually the I passed right over the city, but yeah, the brunt of it was taking it down at the Isle of Palms. The thing is, it's both sides of the island, because when the wind came in, of course it's like in a little spiral, and when the wind came in, it was pushing the waves and the wind this way, and then as the eye passed over, it reverses, and the wind comes from the opposite direction, because it's just a constant thing, so they got it kind of both sides.
There you go. Shoot anything?
Couple.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the tower there and got the whole church here. I don't know. I'd be very excited.
And here's a strange landmark. This is what Charlestonians claim is the oldest liquor store in America. We kind of cater to the needs of the sailors. If you were looking for a tavern to patronize, you didn't have to look far. At one time, we had one tavern for every 14 men, women, and children in this city. And again, we have 5 red light districts. Here comes another one. We called our red light districts, though, red slipper districts, because by law they made the ladies wear red shoes as a symbol of their profession. And that's why now you never catch Charleston women wearing red shoes for formal social events at night. It's not done.
Black. Scent.
You know, yesterday we said it was sweet grass. It's actually seagrass.
It is sweet grass.
What is it? Huh. Well, that's interesting. They call them seagrass baskets in the Preservation Society.
When they came over here to pick up supplies, they were usually empty, and an empty wooden ship tends to be a little bit top-heavy, and they have a problem with capsizing. So to steady the ships, to give them an even keel, they would load the bottom of the ship up with something heavy, stones from England. And then once they came here, they dumped off most of the ballast and took on heavy supplies, and that was sturdy enough. So we just used their excess ballast to modernize our city. Now also, the cut stones around the border, those are from Belgium, so we had some form of trade with Belgium as well. Now, on the right-hand side of the street, there, to the right of the Volvo right now, there's that brown stucco building is the Ryan Slave Mart. And that is the only building still standing where it's actually documented slaves were sold.
Look at the street. Oh, I can't walk on the street here. Get back on the sidewalk. Oh, that's
Labor Road.
cool. rest of my pottery house. There's all kinds of tape pottery thingies. So this is the top floor. Is there anything you like?
It's okay. I mean, it's very nice. Nothing incredibly special.
Shout out, Jan. What are you doing?
Joggling.
Come here. What exactly is joggling?
Kind of swaying and rocking and bouncing. But our hips can't touch on this, you know.
Yeah,
Then we'd have to get engaged.
what a crime that would be.
That would be awful.
Hi there, sir. What are you trying to do, huh? What are you trying to do?
Trying to get a big
Go stand by this horse. I don't like people very much.
Great.
He won't bite. He just thinks you have something for him.
God, that's huge. Yeah, no, jump up on his back.
Oh, yeah, right.
He's fun to ride. Yeah, he is. He's actually the best one because his back's big enough.
Bingo, you're huge. All right.
He's not
Good
a
kiss.